Hello everyone, this is Marcelo from PNCC. In today's tutorial, we'll explore the SmartEPU features. Once your atlas has been collected, make sure you are logged in to CryoFlow, then go to EPU tab. Under Session Creation, click New Session. EPU will ask whether you want to use previous preferences. Let's click No so we can start from scratch. The first step is to name the session. At PNCC, sessions are typically named using the project number, sample name, date, and data. Next, make sure the correct grid type is selected. Leave the session type set to manual and select faster as the acquisition mode. Now let's configure the CryoFlow dataset settings. Click Select. Under My Lab, create a new folder matching your project number. Then choose either single particle analysis or single particle analysis with quality monitor. EPU will suggest the session name for the workflow, but you are free to edit it if desired. Today we'll be setting up a data collection session, so select Imaging EPU Run. Again, you can keep the suggested name or enter a new one. After clicking OK, you see that a workflow has been selected, enabling the SmartEPU plugins. Next, make sure the output folder is set to the Z drive, then click Apply. Under Square Selection, we can now start with this first SmartEPU feature, Smart Selection. When you click this button, the algorithm automatically detects defects such as transfer contamination, cracks, aggregation, and fried egg ice. In this example, we started with 238 grid squares and ended up with 171 after filtering out squares that are likely unsuitable for data collection. At this point, you can either select a total number of suitable squares or enable category selection for a more controlled approach. The categories are based on the apparent size of the grid squares and are automatically generated according to the distribution observed on the grid. If all squares are very similar in size, only a single category may be created. For this grid, EPU generated two categories. Category A, shown in blue, contains the largest grid squares, which may indicate thinner ice. Category B, shown in yellow, contains smaller grid squares, which may indicate thicker ice compared to Category A. If we choose 5 squares from Category A and 5 from Category B, EPU automatically selects the highest ranked squares within each category. This gives us a total of 10 grid squares spanning two different ice thickness populations. Next, right-click to select Move Stage to Grid Square. The red cross indicates the current stage position. Once the stage is ready, proceed to hole selection. First, click Auto-Eccentric. As soon as EPU determines the eccentric height for the current square, enable Smart Find Holes. EPU will automatically detect holes and mark them with green circles, regardless of the hole space in use on your grid. Next, click Smart Filter. This tool removes holes that are likely unsuitable for data collection. For many users, this may be all that's needed, as holes near the grid bar, holes affected by transfer contamination, and holes along this crack have all been removed automatically with one click. However, if you'd like more control over the selection process, we can go back to the previous state and use the Smart Ice Thickness instead. This tool classifies foil holes based on their estimated ice thickness. EPU provides a set of predefined thickness ranges that you can use to quickly identify the holes you want to target. The first range defaults from 0 to 50. If we raise the lower limit to 20, EPU excludes both empty holes and extremely thin ice. Let's change it to 15 instead to bring back those holes with very thin ice thickness. Keep in mind, each range must have a minimum span of 20 units. Now, if we set the upper limit here to 35, EPU automatically adjusts the next range to match. Now let's change the upper limit of the second range to 70. Perfect. And we now have 3 ice thickness groups, 15 to 35 for thin ice, 35 to 70 for intermediate ice, and 70 to 150 for thick ice. Alright, let's click Remove holes close to grid bar to eliminate holes located near or over the grid bars. Now that the ranges are defined, we can choose which ones to keep. For example, let's disable the thickest ice range and we can see those holes being excluded. We can also combine this with the fast screening feature. By clicking here, EPU will select 5 random holes within the current grid square following our defined ice thickness ranges. If we increase this value to 15, EPU immediately updates the selection. Alright, now let's disable fast screening. We can still make manual adjustments using the selection brush. We can simply left-click and drag to remove acquisition areas located over this crack. That looks good now. Next, move to Template Definition and click Acquire. Once the image is acquired, click Find and Center Hole to verify that the centering algorithm works correctly. After the hole is centered, click Add Acquisition Area, choose Circular, and notice that 3 acquisition areas are automatically placed within the foil hole. If necessary, you can move around the acquisition areas by clicking and dragging them. Each acquisition area starts with a single defocus value. Let's add a few additional defocus values and then apply the same defocus list to all acquisition areas. Next, select the autofocus area and choose your desired recurrence. To further optimize data collection, we can also enable Smart Focus predictions. In this case, instead of running a standard autofocus routine at every position, this feature uses AI to estimate focus values based on recently collected data, which significantly increases your throughput by minimizing unnecessary autofocus measurements. Let's move on to automated acquisition. If you're using a Glacius instrument, you may see this feature called Center Beam Periodically. Enable it and configure the desired periodicity and number of iterations. Let's also enable Skip Grid Square Predictions. This plugin evaluates data quality in real time and automatically skips grid squares with consistently low CTF confidence, preventing acquisition time from being spent on poor quality regions. If you're using a microscope equipped with an energy filter, you can enable the Auto Zero Loss routine and define how often it should run. The Close Column Valves option is also useful. When enabled, EPU automatically closes the column valves when the session finishes or if the run is stopped manually. Alright, we're now ready to start the run. In this tutorial, we prepared one grid square and carefully selected approximately 500 holes for acquisition, resulting in roughly 1500 exposures based on the template definition we configured. And that's it. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment below with your questions or requests for future videos, and we'll be happy to answer them.